Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. This is the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Jaden Daniels and the Buffalo Bills taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Baltimore Ravens.
From the home of the Bills since way back in 1973, there's a look at Highmark Stadium just outside of Buffalo, New York. And we are underway in Buffalo. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now a 2nd and 2. Pacheco gets it up the gut, and he'll get about 2 there to the 36. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
Here is 3rd and 5. Throwing is Rodgers. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Back deep is Brandon Codrington. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Daniels now on 1st and 10. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Daniels. That'll be complete to Cook. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Right back to Cook for another completion. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. To the air goes Daniels. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Daniels looking to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Daniels. That's taken in. It's Keon Coleman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Bills passing game getting him down the field. They've got another first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield. They're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Shakir hauls it in. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. Throwing now is Daniels. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Now Daniels. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So on 4th down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. How about this? They'll try the option. Left side. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5. Back to throw. Daniels. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good possession, 1st and 10. Flushed out right. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Daniels toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Running for it, here's Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. James Cook taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Bills will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. When you get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first, but as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gamble with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was James Cook capping all of that off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Rodgers. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw is Rodgers. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Jordan Stout now. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a 10-0 lead, you figure they won't try to do anything foolish here. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports halftime report. We saw some strong work from James Cook in that first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Nothing is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. Daniels now to throw on first down. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's to Cook out of the backfield. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Second down at 6 now from the 42. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Back to throw. Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And this complete to Mitchell. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
first down. Here's Mitchell. And he's got it to about the 40.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Caught left side. It's Beckham. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. An option give now to Mitchell. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7. Rodgers going to throw. He finds his target, Beckham. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Mitchell now off the option. Runs through the contact and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. On the draw, here's Mitchell. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
Now Rodgers. He finds Aguilar over the middle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Buffalo set to get the football back here. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Daniels working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they take a knee. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game, but hey, they got enough points to get the job done, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win, and in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Buffalo.